Hi, this is Mark Wahlstrom, and you're watching Speaking of Settlements, a featured broadcast here on the Legal Broadcast Network. I'm going to just do a very quick tutorial on the topic of structured sales. We've had a really big increase here in 2013 in the number of phone calls and emails to our office from people who are inquiring about the topic of structured sales. So what I wanted to do is a quick primer on what a structured sale is, the advantages of it, and why you may want to investigate it as a tool if you are selling real estate that is subject to either capital gains or even ordinary income tax. What's the benefit of a structured sale? Well, the primary benefit of a structured sale is that you can take your tax hit, whether it's capital gains or ordinary income, and you do have the ability to spread it out over time. But it has to be the sale of a capital asset. There's a lot of people who are flipping real estate, a lot of people who have real estate that had been underwater that is now back in the black, and they have gains, but coming into 2013, they're looking at much higher tax rates, both ordinary income tax rates, capital gains tax rates, both on the federal and on the state level. And they're looking for a way to be able to spread that hit out. The structured sale has been around for over 15 years now. It is a time-tested technique, and it is essentially an installment sale wherein you have a secured party that guarantees to make the payments to the seller, and the buyer of the property has no future obligation to make those payments but transfers them to a third party. It's very simple. It is not a difficult paperwork process, and it really kind of comes down to the planning opportunity of the seller and what they're looking to do with their money. Many people don't like the idea of paying high tax rates and having a huge chunk of their gain taken out in taxes and then having to invest the rest and catch up. The key thing with a structured sale is that you typically take 100% of your proceeds and you put it to use in a secured product that pays you out on a fixed and determinate schedule over a period of time, typically years, in some cases decades, depending upon the planning tools that you want to use. The advantage of this, of course, is that it allows you to put 100% of your money to work. It allows you to carefully plan and program when you want to have taxable income. Now, it is all taxable income, plus the interest that you earn is taxable income. So this is not something where you're going to get away from paying taxes, but allows you to pay out the money in an orderly fashion that makes sense for you, rather than before you've made plans, or if you don't want to invest a lump sum, taking a huge tax hit and being left with a diminished amount of capital to invest. It really does have all the benefits of an installment sale without the negative of the installment sale, which is that you have to rely upon the buyer of your property to continue to pay you over time. In this case, the obligation to make those payments is transferred through an assignment company process to a secured party. In the past, that has been insurance companies, Allstate, Prudential, largely essentially dominated this market for a long period of time. But as we're in the early part of 2013, right now we don't have any life markets that are going to do structured sales at the moment. Now, as I've mentioned on some other broadcasts, there are several life companies that have indicated an interest into moving into this area. And whether or not that's going to happen in the next weeks, the next months, or even going to happen this year at all, we don't know. But the idea of planning through a structured sale has not gone away simply because we don't have those funding markets. There are other private funding companies that do offer the ability to do private sales. Some of them are a little bit more non-traditional in that they're not funded by insurance companies. But the option is still out there, the tools are still out there. And if you're interested in this planning technique, I would just suggest you go to our page at Wahlstrom & Associates or here on the Settlement Channel. Read up a little bit more on the tax law and the techniques and the benefits of a structured sale, and then give us a call and decide whether or not it makes sense for you in your situation this year. A lot of times you can hold off on the purchase time. We talked last week about using a 1031 exchange. For a short period of time to see whether or not you can find a like property and then falling back into the structured sale if necessary. But there's techniques and there's plannings, and it really comes down to you want to talk to a firm that's done a lot of these, that's familiar with the process, and is going to be able to match you up with the right market and the right product and the right plan for what you're looking to do. I encourage you to find out more about structured sales. Do the research, and when the time comes that you're looking for someone to help you look at your specific situation, feel free to contact us here at Wahlstrom & Associates. Thanks. We'll be back again next week with some more topics of interest in this same area. I'm Mark Wahlstrom.